Okay, morning vlog. Let me turn that heater off. Morning vlog continued, but will be added to the afternoon drive home. So, if you're driving on bad roads, especially at night, one little tip that I thought of while doing this, because the main roads aren't too bad. The side roads are shit. They haven't touched the side roads with salt or anything yet. So I had to be very careful and very slow coming out of our development and side roads until I got to the main road. Now, even the main road has some spots. But especially when you're driving on a main road and it's shit from snow, ice, whatever, there always could be ice. Never fucking tailgate, people! Because if you hit a patch of black ice, lose control, you could rear end that person in front of you because you're too fucking close. You need to give yourself like 2, 3, or more car lengths behind somebody. Not practically riding their ass because you think it's fucking safe to do that. Because one slip, you try to hit the brake and you just keep slipping, yeah, you're fucked. You're gonna hit them in the back. And it's your fault. Also, don't tailgate the salt trucks, because I'm sure they don't appreciate that. It's kind of rude, and yeah, I know they're a little slow, but at least what they're doing gives them good coverage on the roads. Like I said, I know every state is different on how well and quickly they respond and maintain their roads. Some suck at it because maybe there's not enough people and there's a lot of back roads to get to. Like, I remember the blizzard of 96, when it was finally over, it took them at least until 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, when it was after it was over, to actually plow our back road. So yeah, it took them a long time to finally get to our back road where our house was. And yeah, it was a fucking wild blizzard. I don't want another one like that. However, I would like one big enough to where I could make a snowman and do all the fun shit, because that would be a fun thing to do on my birthday, but it does not look like that is going to happen next Friday. So I will have to take what I get, and I'll tell you what, we will, if we get another decent sized snowstorm, and I have enough accumulated PPTO, maybe I will just take that day off. Who knows? No. If it is close enough to my day off and the shit doesn't melt by my day off, I will celebrate being a kid again on that day off. The crunchiness of snow and driving through the parking lot, because obviously the parking lot's a little shitty. It's okay. Ooh, I nailed it. I nailed the parking this time. Anyway, I gotta get started on today's shit show. God only knows what that's gonna be like. Maybe slow because of the weather. Who the fuck knows, but I will let you all know later on the drive home. So, stay safe out there. So today, on this Mystic Hates Manic Mondays, we accumulated way too many orders this morning and had 7 people call off first thing. Things started getting late, and we had to call for store help. And we know that they hate being pulled over to help. I I swear it was like a freaking holiday rush or a Blizzard of 96 repeat. Freak out. But it's bright and sunny, and I don't think it's gonna snow again for a bit. So even with exceptions, it got to a point where I had to put my picks on a dolly in the freezer because I just didn't have time to put them out. And there was way too many for them to all fit on my cart anyway. And I really need to find a cheap protein snack to keep in my vest because I was also hangry, and that didn't fucking help at all. Tried these granola bars, even though I don't like granola bars. No, they didn't really help that much. And I hate when my stomach growls and I'm working. Then I get really pissy. I'm a hangry type of person. I'm not one who can, like, tolerate it. I get very annoyed. Then after lunch, someone in a certain department didn't want to do their job and help me after I'd been waiting like 10 minutes. So I had to deny a customer something that they ordered because the item wasn't even ready on time. And they ended up helping another associate on my team and completely fucking ignoring me. So guess what? That was not my fault. I'm not saying who it was. But yeah, I don't have time to stand around with my thumb up my ass waiting for your ass to help me when an order is about to go late. And the other exceptions are just piling up. Then my fat ass had to go in the dairy cooler, and stupid Turkey Hill doesn't know how to park their fucking pallet straight, so it was crooked, and my fat ass ended up knocking their empty totes over just to get to the one item in the bin that it was crooked next to. So I was like, yeah, I'm knocking them over and I'm not picking them back up because y'all put it way too fucking close and y'all didn't even park it straight. It was just completely crooked against that bin. I was like, nah, fuck y'all. So I literally did bump it with my butt and it fell. And I was like, yeah, fuck that. And then somebody made a huge ass mess in the freezer. Alright. News anchor vibes complete. Because that's all I had written in my little note. I started writing it in my notebook as news anchor vibes. Wasn't a very good job. I need a microphone, but like... Oh, great. As soon as I put my damn sunglasses on, sun goes behind clouds. Y'all ever notice that happens? Every freaking time. It's one of those days where there's like random big puffy clouds, but where you're at currently, like it's bright and sunny, and then all of a sudden, as soon as you put your sunglasses on, cloud covers the sun. Like, son of a bitch. Oh, and on top of that, I was gassy all day too. I don't know what it was, but I was gassy all day. All I had to pack was a salad, and oddly enough, I don't have anything to pack tomorrow. I just realized that. Oh well, fuck it, whatever. I mean, I do have more salad stuff, but all I had to pack was a salad. I'm like, this ain't gonna be enough. So I went on my lunch break and bought me a little thing of the Walmart tater kegs, breakfast tater kegs. If you've ever seen those going into Walmart early in the morning, well, relatively early. They're freaking good. It sucks because it's $2.50 and they only give you 3 of them, but they are big, they're like giant tater tots and they're toasted on the outside, but they're filled with like cheese and whatever. Like, there's the basic ones that are just filled with cheese, and then there's ones that have sausage and peppers in them, and that was the only ones I had, so that's what I got. But they are really good. I just wish that you could get more in a container, because 3 is not enough, even though they are kind of big. And then I got myself one of these little notebooks to write vlog notes, so I don't forget things that happen. And the nice thing with my cloth thing that I keep my phone in, because I don't do the screen protectors, they're just annoying as hell. It has a pouch on it so I can fit that little notebook in there, and I have a pen in there. So it's like, when I get a minute to stop, I can write in the notebook. So it's like anything interesting that happens. Oh, and another thing. I don't know if I mentioned this the other day, but a couple of us were having a laugh over one of the higher ups saying that, oh, customers can't order stuff that has 0 on hand. And I'm like, well, they're doing it because we've now been out of Honeycrisp apples for 3 weeks. It has a 0 on hand, but people are still trying to order them. We have 3-pound bags of Honeycrisp apples, but not the individual ones, because most people were ordering like 1 and 2 and 3. So every time they come to my screen and I have to substitute for the Fuji for them, and there is a difference. Like, I mean, to be fair, like, Fuji is one of my favorites anyway, so it would not bother me. But it's like literally Friday, Saturday, and now today I've had to substitute them when they've said 0 on hand according to the team lead for 2 weeks, and now 3 weeks. Now we're on 3 weeks. Still say 0 on hand, and people are still trying to order them, even though the higher up says, oh, customers can't order stuff when it says 0 on hand. Really? Well, they're doing it. I don't know if maybe just something in the system's bugged with those apples. It makes no sense, and I don't understand why we don't have them single anymore. It's just weird. But it is what it is, I guess. It's just weird and annoying. So if you see the green tub behind me, those are left over from Christmas. They have red and green ones still. And they're $3.50, so half off, because they were like $6.97 or whatever. And I was like, we had a shit ton of them over the weekend. Like, a shit ton. Like 2 stack bases freaking full of them. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? By Monday, if there's any left, and I had seen a couple customers like order, like have them in their carts or like order them online, whatever. If there's any left by the time I leave, I'm grabbing one, and any item that I see when I'm going through the basement during that cleaning project that I could use to build a robot with, cha-ching, I have a bin for it. So it will be the potential robot parts bin. I will label it as such. I'll probably just write on it with a Sharpie, because that's what I do with all my plastic bins for holidays and stuff. I just write with a Sharpie on the top of the lid. So yeah, that's pretty much what that's gonna be for. And I didn't really care what color, it don't matter. Especially at that price. And I know, because there wasn't really that many left when I went to grab one. So I know that, if they're all gone by tomorrow, I won't be surprised. Hopefully today I can get some wowing. Because I want to keep grinding my rope now that it's faster to level. Oh my god, it's so nice. So much faster to level. Like, I don't mind the tedious, long grindiness, but it is nice to have a break from that and be able to level a little bit faster. The increased experience is wonderful, honestly. And it's kind of funny how, like, I may not be as knowledgeable in Classic as those who originally did start in Classic, because I started in original Wrath of the Lich King, but it's kind of funny how I've learned so much just from Classic before the pre-patch that was things that were just so different and I didn't know. Like we didn't know. Like, yeah, shit was annoying. Takes you forever for your ghost to get back to your body because the graveyard a lot of times is so friggin' far away. Flight paths are few and far between, and like when you don't have a mount until level 40, it's rough. It's freaking rough. And I know when there's a lot of people questing in an area, the mob spawn timers can get a little crazy, and sometimes that can get annoying. But one of those interesting changes I noticed, because I didn't know that one of the places in one of the zones didn't have a flight path at the bottom of the zone. It had one in the middle for Horde. And I think Alliances is in the middle, but on the other side. Or maybe they didn't have one for it. I don't know. Because there also is one zone that Horde does not have a flight path in, but Alliance does. And then later on, they had switched it so that both factions could use the hub. It used to be Alliance only, and then they switched it. Retail has too many flight paths, honestly. Way too many. But they're only listening to the people bitching about it. Like, I can't even bring myself to go back to Retail anymore. My boyfriend's gotten to the same point. Like, he's like, I can't go back to it. I'm like, yeah, I mean, at least for the lower level dungeons, lower level and stuff, like, I can run you through shit, and then when you get high enough and I make a new alt or whatever, you can always run me through shit, so it makes it easy. Just to get quests done and don't have to worry about finding a group. But, like, it's nice to be in a guild that's socially active, too. And the one thing I noticed with the class I'm playing, Rogue, I've grown to really love it. Like, I've always played a cat druid, and I'm like, I need to step back. Because I really don't want to make a Tauren druid. I don't like their cat form very much. I'm not fond of it. It looks like a weird-ass lion with cow horns, and yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Honestly, weirdly enough, I am not a fan of it. The Night Elf is so much better. So I'm just like, I need to do another class. I need to stop picking the same fucking class all the time. Like, even though it is still my favorite, I've really grown to enjoy playing a rogue and learning things about the rogue that I did not know before. Like the Fan of Knives not being available until Wrath of the Lich King. So I was like, yeah, I remember making a rogue in Wrath and I had it. I don't remember what level I got it at, because they had changed so much since then. But another thing rogues have in Classic, you have to brew poisons to put on your daggers. So that it, because daggers aren't really an effective weapon on their own, and that's what rogues use. Now, I don't know if all rogue races, or all the races that can be rogue, can use a bow and arrow, but I know mine can. I'm gonna assume all of it, I don't know. Maybe it's just a racial thing, because I know trolls have, one of their racial specialties is bow and arrow. And it does come in handy. Kind of spoiled with it, because I know in retail you don't have it anymore. So it's like, now I'm spoiled with it, and I'm going to be pissed when they take it away. But, like, you have to brew your own poisons. You have a vendor next to your trainer that you can buy the stuff to brew them. And then you have to coat your weapon. It lasts for... It originally, in Classic, it lasted for half an hour, but it also had charges. There was a certain amount of charges. So if you have instant poison on your dagger, and it stacks up to four times on the enemy that you're attacking, that's 4 charges literally being taken off of, and you could be 17 minutes into having your poison on there, and it's poof, gone, because you used up all your charges. And it sucks, because then you have to recoat the freaking thing again. You have to repoison your dagger again, so it's kind of annoying. But then in BC, they changed that to where your poisons last an hour instead of half an hour. And there's no charges. It does not wear off. It stays until that hour is up. And that, yeah, because that can get expensive when you know, earning gold in Classic is so much more difficult than it is in the newer, the edition expansions. And a lot of it, other things have changed in the expansion where, like, items that were originally, like, a common item, like gear or whatever, common, turned blue, turned rare. Because it's kind of the same, I think it's the same way with most games where you gear up. You have your gray gear, which is junk gear, your white gear, which is common gear, your green gear, which is uncommon, your rare, which is blue, your epic, which is purple, and then there's a legendary, which is like an orange color, I think. Now, the other games might be a little different on those, but I'm pretty sure the standard gray, white, green, blue, purple, it kind of goes through all, like, MMOs and stuff like that. So, like, a lot of crappy gear got upgrades with the change. So it's kind of nice. It doesn't necessarily mean it put more value on it, but it makes the stats are better. It's like with Pokemon and Pokemon Go. You get something that has 0 stars because it has crappy stats. Something that has 1 star, your stats are kind of fair, I guess. Still kind of crappy. 2 stars, they're decent, but not as good as they could be. And then you got 3 stars, which is ideal, and then obviously perfect, which means the bar is filled up all the way across the board. And then your shinies, which are just cosmetic. And now the only thing in cosmetic in WoW was added in Cataclysm, and that's the transmog. So you can farm an old dungeon or something and collect a gear set, or like or like an old raid, because there's like old raid sets that you could collect from different raids. And it only sucks because, like, you can only do those once a week. You can only farm them once a week. So you may not even get any of the pieces for that set. And that was just so you could make, as long as the gear type was exactly the same, you could make it look like it. that was one of the good things that came out of Cataclysm. One of the shitty things that came out of Cataclysm. Bleh. Can't English. Out of Cataclysm was the fucking zone changes, although I get why they happened. Because of Deathwing. Like, I understand why, but still, did you really have to flood Thousand Needles? It sucks. I hate it so bad. And some zones, they didn't change a whole lot, just a little bit, and it's just like, meh, it's still fine. But, like, and for anyone who's played MMOs that have a lot of lore like WoW does, have y'all ever, like, been in an area, in a zone, in an area of the MMO, and, like, there's ruins of a place that once existed, and you're, like, fighting enemies in those ruins, and you kind of think to yourself, I wonder what this place looked like before it was ruins. Did you ever, like, think about that? And this is just for the gamers. This is not for anyone. Or maybe, I guess, if you do read a book, do you try to imagine in your head what the place looks like that you're reading about? But still, like, in the game, do you just wonder, what did this place look like before it became ruins, and now we got ogres in it that we're killing? And I'm talking about in the zone, for anyone who's a WoW gamer, the zone for Alice, the Ruin of Isilden. I always wonder, what does it freaking look, what did it look like? Ooh, a cop was behind somebody back there and followed them into their development. Funny. Busted! Wasn't me. But yeah, you ever wonder what, like, those ruins look like before they became ruins? Like, you wish that there was an actual image of what they look like. Because it's like, you can try to picture it in your head based on the ruins, depending on how bad they are. But even in your head, it's just like, I want to see a real picture. Like, I want somebody to draw it. What it originally looked like. Behind the lore. Now, I know they do a behind the lore thing in Wrath at one point, kind of, and it's a dungeon, but it kind of shows a certain zone before it became what it is now, and it is kind of weird. But yeah, interesting gamer thoughts before it's time to get out of the car, go make dinner, because I'm starving. I will see you all later, maybe, or this may be the last video of the day. Either way, have a good night, and I'll see you in the next one.